Hello traders, Greg here with the market update. Okay, so the market at the moment is purely focused and trading on geopolitical issues, and the geopolitical issue that they're focused on is obviously Greenland, and obviously Trump's tariffs on the European countries. Now, this is seen as probably one of the most unpopular policies that Trump has ever made. So Europe is actually viewing it as they're being blackmailed, and they certainly do not want to bow to being blackmailed. And at the moment, they are 100% behind backing Denmark and Greenland's sovereignty. So look, it's very hard to see how this is going to play out, and certainly in the short term, it doesn't seem like there is going to be a solution to this issue. Now, market-wise, we have seen some decent moves on the back of this. So look, equities, they hate tariffs, they hate potential trade wars. So we've seen them lower, no surprise there. So S&P and NASDAQ had their first trading day for this week. They were closed obviously Monday, Martin Luther King Day, and both down about 2% on the close. Now, technically both S&P and NASDAQ also looks like they've broken some uptrend support from the April lows of last year. So a bit of a technical breakdown as well happening. So I'm not sure if I'd be running in buying any dips anytime soon. Potentially, we could go a decent amount lower still, especially with so much uncertainty still hanging around this issue. Now, markets that has actually enjoyed this is obviously precious metals. Precious metals love geopolitical issues. They love uncertainty, love tariffs, love everything to do with what is happening at the moment. They've been in a raging bull market. They don't really need much to keep them moving, but we've seen an outstanding start to the week for both gold and silver. Gold, new record highs, it's flowing straight through 4,700 and closing around 4,760, so up another $100 overnight. And silver also new record highs above 95 and closing just below that. But obviously, look, gold is less than 250 points away now from 5,000, which has been a target, no doubt, for gold bulls at a big psychological level. The way gold has been trading, we could be there much quicker than I guess first thought. And silver as well. I mean, it's doing 5% days. For it to print $100, that also could happen very quickly. So look, these two markets. What we're seeing is obviously historic, and they are raging bull markets, so I would not be fading these moves either, because certainly they could still do quite a lot topside. The currency market has reacted to this tariff news. We've seen some the market going away like a sell US story, diversifying away from US assets. And so they've been selling US dollar, and Euro's been a big beneficiary of that. Almost went up to 118 overnight. Highs of 117.80-ish, and Aussies also benefit for that as well. So it's back at elevated levels around that 67.30-40 area. So at the moment, currency market has come alive a little bit, and it is a sell US dollar theme. Again, probably would not be betting or going against that for the time being while we're trying to sort through this mess. Bitcoin also, it hasn't had or crypto in general, a good night. So we've seen basically Bitcoin smash back below 90,000. And that's a long way from the highs that we saw recently up towards 97, 98. But it's also broken some uptrend support. So potentially some of the bears are getting excited. Maybe we're going back down towards 80,000. So at the moment, being sure crypto certainly is paying. Okay, so besides obviously this geopolitical issue with Greenland, the other one that still is unresolved and still obviously a fluid situation is what's happening with Iran. A lot of the US warships carrier, the big carrier ships that have been steaming towards the Middle East are only a couple of days away. They'll be there before the weekend. So US military will be at full strength if they are going to target and hit Iran. So look, that's something that you can't ignore, that potentially there's still another huge geopolitical crisis that can hit the market. Crude is obviously a trade that I would not be shorting going into the weekend or anytime soon. It did pop its head above $60 overnight, went as high as $60.60 before coming off onto the close. But technically, it is starting to build some bullish momentum and it is starting to look very positive. That recent high that we made the other week at 60.30, 60.40ish, 62, sorry. If at some stage that was broken, we break that, we could see it sharply higher. So yes, I'd be looking to have a crude long at some stage, especially before the weekend. Okay, so besides the geopolitical issues, something else that is worth looking at and is what is happening to Japanese bond yields. They are absolutely exploding, spiking north, going parabolic now. Japanese 10-year JGB yields now are trading up towards 2.4%, which is like a 30-year high. The 30-year yields, record highs, they're almost at 4%. These higher bond yields, especially when bond yields spike parabolic like they are now, tend to break things. So it would not be surprised if we start seeing headlines about something not good happening. But yes, keep an eye on what's happening with Japanese bond yields because certainly it could cause some issues. So look, the key takeaway at the moment is that this market is trading risk off, and I'd imagine we will continue to trade risk off for the foreseeable future until we get some resolution from some of these geopolitical issues, and maybe seeing if the Japanese bond yields actually start reversing and come down a little bit. But at the moment, that does not seem the case. So good luck with your trades, and we'll check back with you shortly.